Hello and welcome to the formal review. Today, we will be looking at the 2020 film Weathering with You. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the review.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the formal review. This is season 3 episode 2 and I thank you all for joining me once again. Now before I get started, I do want to preface this episode with a slight spoiler warning for this film, and I'll do my best not to completely ruin the movie for you, but as I always say, I suggest that you go see the film before you hear what I have to say about it so you fully understand everything. But if you don't care about that, keep listening. Weathering with You, also known as Tenki no Ko, which translates to Child of Weather, is an animated romantic fantasy film written and directed by Makoto Shinkai. It was a release in Japan in 2019, but it was again released in the United States in 2020. It stars the voices of Kotaro Daigo and Nanamori. It takes place in Japan during a period of exceptionally rainy weather. The story itself is simple yet fairly complex. It starts off following this young boy, Hodoka, who runs away to make it on his own, but has no job and has no place to live. He ends up living on the street until he starts working for this quote-unquote news outlet, which writes things along the lines of UFOs and Bigfoot, and it is here where he hears about Sunshine Girls, and through this he meets Hina. She is someone that the film's audience members will compare to the certain someone who can brighten your entire day. In this movie's case, she embodies that literally, as she is able to bring the sunshine to this rainy country. Hodoka and Hina do what any entrepreneur would do and follow Heath Ledger's advice.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
But all their efforts come with a complicated catch, which I'm not going to reveal. This film has a great storytelling from Shinkai, and it will have audience members really contemplating their views on love and what they do to be with someone. This film's overall message would apply to many things, such as climate control, but at the end of the day, it is an old-fashioned tragic love story that will move anyone's hearts. This film was a lot of fun to see in 4DX, as it allows one to really feel engrossed in Shinkai's world. The feeling of raindrops falling on you and the wind blowing through your hair really immerses you into the film. It makes each weather scene more fantastical that will captivate any viewer. It really doesn't distract from the film's story rather than pushes the story's overall message. And if you've never been to a 4DX showing, this film really shows how it can enhance the theater going experience without it being overwhelming. To give you some perspective, I went with 2 people that had never experienced it before and they really enjoyed it. One of them also gets motion sick and she thought it was a lot of fun to feel the weather while watching this movie. Either way though, any viewer will be cheering for Hodoka, but in the end,
Voting isn't just going to the polls anymore on election day. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity. How to Vote is a tool created by Democracy Works, and it breaks down the options your state offers by forecasting a ballot, empowering you to decide where and when to vote. Democracy works best when we all vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout. How to Vote takes the guesswork out of the voting process. It is easy to use and helps folks from all over the country overcome many of the process barriers to voting. It is committed to helping you vote no matter what. You can use the How to Vote tool to sign up for election reminders, see what's on your ballot, get step-by-step assistance requesting your mail ballot, explore your options for returning your mail-in ballot, check your voter registration status, and find your local polling site and make sure that you have an appropriate ID to bring with you. Decide when and where you'll vote this year at howto.vote.
may not be a good idea as you think. The film will have you actually grow to care about these 2 characters, but the message of the film will not sit well with most viewers when they leave the theater, which is really the only flaw I can find with this movie, because it doesn't end how most will think it will, and it may upset some. But for me, it was done purposefully this way, and it really adds to the tragic love story that this film is about. And honestly, the less said about this film, the better, as it can really take away from the effect. This film is a masterpiece of animation. The film is absolutely gorgeous to see, and its storytelling should appeal to just about anyone. And if you can, 4DX is the absolute best way to go. But if you do not have a theater that supports this around you, still go see it in the best elaborate way possible, whether that's IMAX or RPX or Dolby Cinema, whatever the best way is. This film is definitely worth seeing. So now, what do you think of the film? Let me know. Hit me up on social media. The Formal Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The URL is all the same. It's at The Formal Review. Thank you all for tuning in once again. again, and I really appreciate you all listening. I see the numbers, and I'm really thankful for you all. So you never miss an episode, please subscribe to your favorite streaming service. The Formal Reviews on Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, and much, much more. Pretty much anywhere that has podcasts. In addition, I always want to grow and improve, so please leave a review on your favorite service. And also, you can tell me what you want to hear or a film that you want me to review. I do this for you all, and I want to keep it entertaining. Each pair of ears that you give to the podcast allows me to continue. For those who have supported me on a financial basis, I really appreciate the fact that you support me in that way. For those who want to give financial support, please go to anchor.fm/the_formal_review and click support this podcast. And any donation is really appreciated. As with every episode, I do have music in the background. I do not own the rights to this music, but I put it in there to show support to the film's score. This is a very important part of the film and can really bring the audience back into the film's environment. This episode's music was from the Weathering With You album, recorded by the Randwimps, released by Vogue Ting Incorporated, limited on July 19th, 2019. Thank you all for tuning in once again, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Formal Review. We hope you'll join us again.